Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, we talk with Dan Farney. He's an Illinois farmer and now the chairman of the United Soybean Board. We conducted the interview. He was still the vice chair. So we'll also have features from the Kansas Soybean Commission, Kansas Department of Agriculture, and Kansas Grain Sorghum, plus our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers, Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, KFB.org, and the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com. In agriculture news from agview.net, year-end data released by the U.S. Energy Information Administration provides evidence of both the impact of COVID-19 and the resilience of the ethanol industry. U.S. ethanol production fell to 13.93 billion gallons last year. That's down 1.85 billion, or about 11.7% from 2019, the lowest production level since 2013. Now, the data indicates that domestic ethanol consumption 12.63 billion gallons, that's 13.2% below 2019 levels and the lowest since 2009. Gas consumption in the U.S. totaled 123.49 billion gallons, that was down 13.5%. U.S. ag exports generate economic benefits beyond the agricultural sector, as well as provide support for farm prices and farm income. While the volume of ag exports projected to expand during the years of 2021 through 30, U.S. exports of major crop and livestock commodities are also expected to face stiff competition from other exports, particularly Brazil and the European Union. U.S. exports of corn and cotton expected to remain the largest in the world, but average U.S. world export market shares for nearly all commodities expected to slip during the next decade compared with the previous one. And Catherine Tai, President Biden's pick for U.S. Trade Representative, has pledged to hold China accountable for its promises. She said she'll ensure that the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement is fully implemented. In her opening statement for her Senate confirmation hearing, Tai said it's critically important to have a strategic and coherent plan for confronting China. However, she also cautioned against alienating the Chinese. She said China is a simultaneously rival, trading partner, and an outside player whose cooperation we need to address certain global challenges. She said we also must remember how to walk, chew gum, and play chess at the same time. Well, more ag news online at agview.net. Stay with us. More in a moment. The Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. And agview.net, serving the beef belt and western corn belt with reliable and relevant agriculture information. agview.net.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn, with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau health plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.
Now is Dan Farney, who is an Illinois farmer and is the vice chair of the United Soybean Board. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
Well, let's talk about a couple of things in our interview, and one of those is the use of soy oil and the number of new uses, the trials and tribulations in a sense, but there continues to be good news when it comes to finding a place to use all that soy oil.
That's very true. Soy oil is amazing in that it can be used for so many different things. And that can be anywhere from being included in asphalt to being sealer on concrete to being used in tires. So those are just a couple of the recent ones that we've been working on.
Well, it is something that we continue to watch the price. And obviously that's a big thing, but it kind of competes with other oils. But it seems, Dan, over the last, I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 years, soybean oil has really taken its place as one that could almost be seen as the driver in all those oil markets.
That's true. Oil, and it's a green market too. It's renewable every year. And so that's one of the cool things that I like to promote about soybeans and soybean oil, that it really is a unique product.
What we talk about some of these new uses. I mean, it seems like maybe sometimes we focus on those industrial applications because those probably have the biggest amount of usage and also to be environmentally friendly, but also other uses through in a sense household or just a variety of different things, and that's one thing that Checkoff has helped invest in trying different ways and saying, well, here's maybe a traditional item, but maybe let's see if we can use soy oil as a substitute that would work just as well.
That's very true. I kind of look at the new uses area as kind of the innovative, forward-thinking part of it that coming down the road. It could be a really demand driver. So by far, vegetable oil and food use is by far the biggest use for soybean oil. And then biodiesel will be after that. And then we have kind of in the new uses area.
Dan Farney is a farmer from the Morton, Illinois area. Is the current vice chair of the United Soybean Board. Let's take a break. We're going to come back and talk about high oleic oil, and as that market continues to grow. So stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment. Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the soybean checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, But how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Dan Farney, Illinois farmer and the vice chair of the United Soybean Board, is joining us. And high oleic soybean oil. It's something that we have talked about for a number of years, but it continues to show just great usage. It seems like, Dan, if folks get the opportunity to use it, that's their oil of choice.
It seems to be. It really seems to be taking off right now and being used in the frying industry. It lasts longer. It tastes. It doesn't add any taste to the food that it's fried in, though it really makes a very unique high demand oil. So,
well, the health benefits are one thing, but you talk about when we get around those fish fry seasons, that a lot of state soybean checkoff groups have donated some oil or sold it at a discount to give folks that opportunity. And, you can talk about the friability. The chefs I've talked to have really enjoyed it. And so you've got that. You've got kind of the easy use, but you also have those nutritional traits.
that's very true. It's what we would, I think, call our healthy oil for frying and baking and stuff like that. So, and then also the other thing that's really pretty cool, it also kind of bleeds into the industrial area too, where you can formulate it to make motor oil out of it. So it is just very cool thing to be involved in.
And we see more and more farmers kind of adapting to it as more facilities are taking it, and maybe some contracting, and it's kind of one of those kind of chicken and egg things almost. You need it, but you need the acres, and vice versa. So it has been quite a story to follow.
It has been, and it really seems to be taking off now and becoming more widely adapted, and we need acres for next year. So it's a very cool thing to be involved in, and it pays a premium too for the farmers to grow it. So that we like that.
Sure. Well, we'll talk about the soybean from UC from your farm, and why do you grow soybeans, or maybe talk about how it works on your rotation on your operation there.
Well, in Illinois here, we're a corn soybean rotation state. I'm 50-50, goes back and forth. Unfortunately, I don't really have a market for the high oleic part of it in this area yet, but that may come. A lot of our beans do end up in the export channel with the Illinois River right here. So
that's good. Well, Dan, we appreciate the update on what's going on with high oleic as well as soy oil and the good things that are happening. So appreciate your time.
Very good. Enjoyed it.
Dan Farney, Illinois farmer, vice chair of the United Soybean Board, has joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
$70 billion in direct and induced effects. Looking at the soybean and other oilseeds category, the economic impact is $2.7 billion through direct and induced effects. Agricultural products are intrinsic to our everyday lives. Within the state, you can find consumer-ready items proudly branded from the land of Kansas. Additionally, there are a number of products sold in the state that utilize our crops and livestock in other ways: fabric, leather, industrial products, beauty products, and more. Though Kansas is landlocked, the international market potential of our crops is major as well. Over half of the soybeans grown in the state end up around the world, and we land 10th on the list of soybean export value nationwide. So how can you celebrate this month? Recognize Kansas Agriculture Day on March 23rd with a celebration in your hometown or county. Seek out agriculture products when shopping. Encourage your local school to participate in the fun with the variety of educational resources available online. Resources for such activities are housed at agriculture.ks.gov/KSAgmonth, or you can follow the fun on social media using the hashtag KSAgmonth. Farming and ranching are deeply rooted in Kansas history, and March is a great time to recognize the impact that has.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Nearly 40% of rural Americans lack access to broadband, compared to just 4% of urbanites.
For me as a teacher, there's a couple families that, even though our county where I teach had offered free internet access to all families where possible, we had a couple families that did not have any access to internet due to their geographic location. One parent that had 4 kids, and they're trying to bring their kids into town to bump Wi-Fi where it's free, or at their businesses, to try to get their kids through their education. I think it makes it tough because right now they're saying in order to meet guidelines, whether schools are in person or online, that they're going to have to log those minutes in the classroom virtually. Well, if those kids don't have access to internet or decent internet, how are they supposed to log those minutes? So I mean, there is plans in place, so if we have to go back to virtual education, that we are prepared. And even though parents and kids are prepared, their Wi-Fi is not.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
All of us here at the Kansas Department of Agriculture are excited to recognize the month of March as Kansas Agriculture Month, and Tuesday, March 23rd, as Kansas Agriculture Day. Join us throughout the month as we celebrate the contributions of the ag community, and as we help raise awareness that the crops and animals grown on farms and ranches in Kansas are feeding Kansas families, as well as families around the nation and the world. The critical role of Kansas agriculture has never been more significant than over the past year, as the essential work that farmers and ranchers do to keep the food supply chain moving was made even more apparent. Ag remains Kansas's largest industry and economic driver, with 71 agriculture, food, and food processing sectors combining for $49.2 billion in the Kansas economy. As we learned in the 2017 Census of Agriculture, Kansas ranks 5th in the nation for the total value of agriculture production. And that ag production is quite diverse, with grain sorghum, wheat, beef cattle, hay, sunflower, corn, hog, and soybean production all ranked in the top 10 in the nation. The Kansas agricultural sector also includes food processing, research and education, renewable energy production, agribusiness, technology, and many value-added enterprises. This year, in response to the demand for enhanced local food production, nearly $12 million in CARES Act funds were earmarked for expanding capacity of the state's food supply system. And these grants have already made a significant impact across the state, as local Kansas food and agriculture businesses have expanded their capacity in simple and concrete ways. Find out more about Kansas Agriculture Month on our website, agriculture.ks.gov/KSAgmonth. Or follow along on social media as KDA celebrates the Kansas ag industry this March.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Extreme freezing weather this winter caused significant headaches for much of the Central Plains. However, we look at a silver lining, the freeze's effect on sugarcane aphid in this week's sorghum update. Sugarcane aphid infestations have been lower throughout the sorghum belt over the past couple years, thanks in large part to proactive scouting techniques used by farmers from South Texas to southern Kansas. But this year, farmers may thank Mother Nature for stifling infestations that may have otherwise moved up through the sorghum belt. Farmers remember the sugarcane aphid first appearing in the U.S. in the 2013 growing season along the coastal regions of Texas. Since then, public and private crop protection partners have researched and learned a great deal about this pest over the following growing seasons. And today, farmers are effectively managing the aphid. Rewinding to just a few weeks ago, historic Arctic freezing conditions penetrated all the way to the lower Rio Grande Valley of Texas, and unfortunately killed most or all above-ground grain sorghum vegetation planted earlier in this year. A silver lining, however, is academic and industry researchers recently finding no sugarcane aphid anywhere in the lower Rio Grande Valley. Vegetation of Johnson grass has also been killed by the freeze, with potential to additionally slow reappearance of sugarcane aphid this year, populations of which first typically pop up in April, now likely in May. As our partners in Texas accurately note, there's no assurance infestations will remain low in the future, but several lines of defense are available to growers, including sugarcane aphid tolerant hybrids with lower susceptibility to sugarcane aphid damage. For growers interested in more pest management tips for grain sorghum, including new technologies for over-the-top grass control, visit the Sorghum Checkoff at sorghumcheckoff.com. For Kansas Grain Sorghum, this is Adam York.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Does your health plan lack dental and vision coverage? With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you can get a dental and vision bundle for yourself or your family at an affordable price, giving you the ability to maximize your benefits and lower your costs. Plus, you'll get a solid network of providers in one convenient package. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Premier Farm & Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm & Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
According to a new report from CoBank's Knowledge Exchange, a weaker U.S. dollar may make some U.S. agricultural products like animal protein and dairy more competitive on the global export market. The report indicates the outlook for a stronger Australian dollar and euro should make U.S. beef and pork exports the largest beneficiaries in the coming year. In addition to currency, CoBank suggests a more normal year for U.S. meat processing capacity. The rebound in global food service demand and the upward trend in China's meat and poultry imports will be drivers of U.S. protein exports. On the dairy front, the European Union and New Zealand are dominant players in the global dairy trade, so their currencies factor heavily in the trade-weighted currency index for dairy. The CoBank report shows both the euro and New Zealand dollar are projected to be stronger against the U.S. dollar in 2021, providing a tailwind for U.S. dairy exports. This creates enhanced opportunities for cheese exports into key markets like South Korea, Japan, and Australia, non-fat dry milk exports to Southeast Asia, and butter exports into South Korea. To read the full report, visit www.cobank.com.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Mitch Dewar here with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. We have continued to see a choppy grain trade as the bulls and bears duke it out. Next week we have the monthly WASDE report, and then the trade will be looking towards the highly anticipated prospective plantings report, March 31st. With the Chinese on holiday and moving into a seasonally slow export time frame, daily sales have been scarce in the past few weeks. We broke that streak last Tuesday with a flash sale of 175,000 metric tons of corn to Japan. Front month grains contracts have traded sideways with extreme volatility the past month. However, the new crop grain contracts were able to make new highs the last week of February. Both domestic and foreign weather will be a hot topic as we move on down the calendar. Over in the livestock markets, we saw February live cattle go off the board at 113 with cash trading at 114. Both live and feeder cattle futures have been slipping lower, looking for the bottom. With the states lifting restrictions and possibility of normal life in the near future, the cattle complex looks for support to start grinding out of the slump we have been in for some time. If you would like to talk about your grain and livestock marketing plan, give us a call at 888-452-8751. I'm Mitch Dewar with Pinion.
That's our show this week. Be social with us at KansasAgReport.net or our social media channels. Spring is almost here, so let's stay Kansas strong. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching the Kansas Ag Report. See you next week.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the soybean checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.